Welcome to another Trump Teachings. Today I will be looking at a very important topic of card advantage. Those of you who have come to Hearthstone from another collectible card game or trading card game might be surprised that I decided to do this one so late in the series, because card advantage is very important, of course, and something I consider really important. It just turns out that almost all of the previous Trump teachings inevitably lead to card advantage as well. So, card advantage. Simple concept. If you manage to, over the course of the game, play more cards than the opponent, you will probably win. So I've got a priest deck to emphasize this point, mainly because of Northshire Cleric, and because of the hero ability, which preserves your cards so that they don't die, so that naturally you get card advantage through those. This is the basic deck, which you can get from level 0, level 1 rather, and then at level 6, toss in the 2 Holy Nova, removing 2 Crocolisks. Level 8, you get Shadow Word Death. We'll toss in 2 of those, getting rid of a Dark Scale Healer and a Champion. And finally, level 10, you get the huge Mind Control. Get rid of the Final Stormwind Champion and a Grubashi Berserker.
I will fight with honor.
The light shall bring victory.
Alright, I'll keep these 2 early game cards. And oh boy, I got the Northshire Cleric against the Paladin. That's one of the best classes to go up against with the Northshire Cleric. The other one being the Hunter, since Paladin has this ability to make a 1-1, which is really bad against Cleric, and Hunters tend to have guys, well, currently in the meta, they tend to not have very many 3-attack guys early on. I would usually save this, but I have a lot of support cards for the Cleric, and I might be able to gain significant card advantage. The opponent is Blessing of Wisdom to my Northshire Cleric. I guess that actually demonstrates an important topic as well. I could hit the opponent for 1 right now, but that would be a terrible mistake, since 1 card is worth a lot more than 1 damage, especially early on. So I'm just going to pass the Acidic Swamp Ooze. There's a consideration to play the Acidic Swamp Ooze right now. It's the tempo play. Puts on some pressure, but this secret, it might be Noble Sacrifice, which means the Acidic Swamp Ooze would just trade down for that, which would not be a favorable exchange. I'd be too afraid to attack, plus Paladins use weapons. I'm just going to end turn. There is a fair exchange for a card for 1. There is a fair exchange of life for health. And in the early game, it's often something very high, something along the lines of perhaps 4 or maybe even 5 health. And it depends a lot based on the state of the game, of course. But 1 is definitely not good enough for a card. A Warlock is willing to often pay 2 life and 2 health. Or 2 life and 2 health. 2 health and 2 mana in order to draw a card. So to give him this card for 1 would basically be committing a value crime. That was a good exchange for him. Blessing of Kings kills that. That still survives. I'll play the Holy Smite. I guess first I play Power Word Shield. Draw the card first if you can. Keeps it around. Again, considered to play the Ooze, but he could hold a True Silver Champion in his hand. Here's a topic of playing on curve. The Shadow Word Pain is a really strong solution to this Snapjaw. But if I Shadow Word Pain, I have 3 mana left over and not much to do with it, so I'm going to play Chillwind Yeti. The interesting thing is, by putting Blessing of Wisdom on the Northshire Cleric, he's basically playing as if I am a rookie. since only a rookie would attack with the Northshire Cleric when it had Blessing of Wisdom on it. Otherwise, his 1 mana card just basically negates the attack value of the Northshire Cleric, which isn't really the point of the Northshire Cleric anyways. And now we get to start enjoying the sweet, sweet card advantage that the Northshire Cleric will provide. One of my favorite cards, since you just get so much repetitive card advantage with it.
They are bent to my command.
Reporting for duty.
Very similar to fearlessly tapping when you need the card, but in this case, you just happen to have a freebie source. It costs less, so to say. Darkscale Healer is one of those big combo cards with the Northshire Cleric. But here, if I were to damage it, I would give him a card as well, which is not worth it. So right now, it's a debate between playing an Ogre, which is playing better on curve, or playing Gnomish Inventor. In this case, I think Gnomish Inventor is better, since you look at his board, and if I attack this into this, this will be a 4-3, which means 4-6 can attack into 4-3 and kill it, but if I heal up to a 4-5, at the very least, this needs to die in order to kill this. Always gotta look ahead in order to get those favorable trades in. So I'll play the Gnomish Inventor, which in itself is a card advantage machine, since it often manages to do something past drawing the one card. Draw another card. Having a lot of cards gives you a lot more options, lets you make better plays, and if the game drags on long enough, he who plays the most cards is often the victor.
Reporting for duty.
Two options: I can kill this and then heal this back up, or I can also play a Bloodfin Raptor. And I'll do this since I have a lot of cards in hand already. If I had fewer cards, I may have gone for a bigger card advantage play, which often involves using your hero ability for almost any class. But in this case, I have the luxury of being able to make the more powerful play, rather than the play that allows for more longevity.
Join or die, or both.
Move quickly. Reporting for duty.
One thing that priests focus quite a bit on is board control. I mean, you gotta kill the Cult Master. It provides too much card advantage over time. Here's a good favorable exchange. I play the Darkscale Healer to the best of its abilities, heals for the maximum value, keep playing on curve, and going forward, I've got the ultimate cards on the priest side, which provide instant, significant card advantage and board impact. Taking one of their cards and putting it on your side is like you summoned a guy and you killed a guy, so it's already a 2-for-1. And if the guy you take kills another guy, then that's a 3-for-1. That's why it costs 10 mana, because it is so often a 3-for-1, or even perhaps a 4-for-1 if you take something truly monstrous, which often is the case with mind control, since you want to hit the monstrous minions. And I'll play the Holy Nova here, manages to keep my guys on the board. A little bit of a slow play and was tempted to play the Ogre. But that card was getting a lot of value the way that was being played. And at this point, with this kind of hand, it's nearly inconceivable to lose the game, since this is the ultimate answer to anything the Paladin has to play. And I'm at a high enough life total that there's no shenanigans that can occur.
Mind if I roll need?
Even this Yeti, who's been debuffed, can just keep on fighting and keep on gaining card advantage, even if it is just trading with the hero ability of the Paladin and then getting healed up. Because one of the things about the Paladin hero abilities, it's in some ways getting card advantage and getting a slight board state, since getting a 1/1, it's a bad minion, but it's like you have another card on the table. That's why I like playing Paladin.
To Northrend!
Northshire Cleric. Alright. I was going to just shout some Cleric this, hit it, and then trade. That would be a good favorable exchange. But here,
Is someone injured?
I can start drawing cards yet again. In fact, I could have done the shout. No, then I would have nothing to heal. I could play Holy Nova just to draw too, but the Ogre is probably a better play. And you can kind of see why I kept card advantage. Like, I didn't talk about it first lesson, because board control is still just so more important. If you have proper board control, then the card advantage comes naturally from having every single exchange be favorable.
Reporting for duty.
Use the Ogre to kill this, it survives, I get to heal it and draw a card, and then the engine keeps on rolling. In fact here, I'm going to make the marvelous Holy Nova to draw 4. And even though that only does 2 damage to him, any player who's played a good amount of card games will know that the worst feeling in the world is when your opponent has a full hand. Then they can do pretty much anything they want. It doesn't matter how long it takes to kill your opponent, as long as it gets done. And though a lot of exchanges were done in this game, there was no point in which I was ever really in any danger. And just a nice slow and steady buildup of advantage.
Thank you.
Truth is my
Very adorable by the Paladin. Perhaps he's trying to get me to fatigue, gets me to burn a card, whatever.
Right away.
Victory.
Cute. If you enjoyed that version of controlling the board and slowly building up an advantage, then this extension of Priest might be for you. It carries some of the more efficient cards, it's better at controlling the board starting early, and it has a bit of combo to it. Now, Akanai Soul Priest plus Circle of Healing, restore 4 health to all minions, and your cards and powers that restore health now deal damage instead. You can gain quick board control by playing this Akanai Soul Priest on 4, and then Circle of Healing if the opponent is a really aggressive deck and has swarmed the board. You can get some really good trades going with Pyromancer, and then you powered shield the Pyromancer, and then you cast other spells like Holy Smite and Thoughtsteal to clear the board efficiently and gain card advantage that way. Thoughtsteal is a very easy card advantage machine. You just play it and then you draw 2 cards, so that's +1 card. The downside, of course, is it's slow. Shadow Madness can be used to gain card advantage. You take one of their guys, you send it into another one of their guys, they both die, and it's also board control. Oftentimes board control and card advantage are going to be tied. Ideally you want a card that provides both. That's why cards like Shadow Madness and Holy Nova and Consecration and Flame Strike and Swipe are so good. And Cabal Shadow Priest, you take one of their guys. If you use one of their guys to then kill a guy, then that's like a 3-for-1. So a lot of card advantage methods with this deck.